Vakuru vanoti, afirwa haaringwi kumeso. Pineapple. A long time ago in a faraway land, a beautiful young woman, Zadzisai, lived to become a famed premier news carrier in her village. She knew everything. She knew everyone. She knew everyone's stories. She knew, too, stories that had yet to happen. And every day by the river, she distributed the stories. Every single day, without fail, even when it rained, or when the sun scorched down, or when the wind raised itself furiously, she was there with a story. She sat in the mornings by the riverbank, and it had a tree stump fashioned for her to become her headquarters, and from days, moons, and rains of sitting there, her behind was so imprinted on it that it became uncomfortable for anyone else to sit there. She arrived at the river before anyone else, just as the first birds tweeted morning greetings to one another, and she would wait. And women and girls coming to fetch water would stop by her for a daily dose of stories. Did you know Muroti was chased away last night by her husband after he accused her of infidelity? Zadzisai would ask, arms crossed over her bosom, head tilted to the side. And when the woman awed and awed and said in disbelief, Zadzi, she would add, it has to be true. Remember that time I told you she had been seen lurking in the forest with a stranger? The following day, she would have something new. Do you know that poverty has so swallowed the Pazai family that they eat mangai every night? And she would burst out loud with laughter. Remember how they used to shine? Now everything is gone. They have become worse than all of us here. Then another day, do you know Chieza and Fadzai have broken up? Their budding love gone, just like that. A strong gaffer would follow. Now we are just the same, single. Her rumor mill became so famous that she spent afternoons entertaining visitors who came to drop off and pick up information. It became so famous, she bargained chunks of meat, heaps of salt with gossip. If I tell you, what do I get in return? She would ask. She became so known that people began to say, if you want that story to spread, take it to Zadzisai. And it would spread, albeit with spicy embellishments. Then she fell in love. A passing group of merchants docked by their village. A young merchant saw her as she sat on her stump one morning. He approached her. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen, he told her. Be mine. And to prove he was serious, he removed the golden chain that wound around his neck and placed it on hers. That day, when women came to fetch water, they couldn't find her. She was being lavished on. She had abandoned her stump. She abandoned her visitors too, spending afternoons walking up and down village paths, the village market, hand in hand with her lover. To those she managed to get a word in with, she told them, we are getting married. And true it was, for within a moon, preparations had been made. Skin tanners had come to her home to fashion nembe for Maroro. Jewelers had brought an assortment of adornments. Hunters dragged 2 buffalo into her homestead, and her old father extended his kettle crow for the bride prize. On the set morning, fires bloomed across her yard, and soon enough, tantalizing aromas intermingling with smoke beckoned a ceremony of knot in preparation. And Zadzisai sat in her heart beaming, waiting. But as the heartbeats flowed into one another, and the sun unashamedly spurred towards the center of the sky, Zadzisai's lips drooped and fell. Where was he? There was no one. The guests started to whisper, and the fire started to die down, and soon enough, her father demanded that the food be dished for everyone, and for everyone to disperse. The groom is not coming, the old man said resignedly. But Zadzisai could not believe it, so she went to check, running to the river, to their meeting place in her expensive Nimbi. And to her shock, the merchants' camp had been packed up and their canoes had long gone. In despair, she ran to her stump to weep. She had been oblivious to the crowds that had followed her, that now came to surround her, watching as she cried, hiding their glee. She tried to rise, to run, to go and hide from them, but they had formed an impenetrable human wall, whispering, chuckling, and making the tears fall more quickly down Zazasai's cheeks. Until at last an elderly woman broke out of the wall and came to bend beside her and whisper, "It is okay," before turning to the crowd, shooing them off, saying, "Go away, go home, afirwa haringwi kumeso, let her grieve." And once they were alone, she turned to Zazasai and said, "See, child, it is important to extend grace to others when they grieve, because they don't choose it. Grief and problems come to us all, okay?" Zazasai nodded.